Greetings, I'm Professor K, and in this short video presentation we're going to see how we can use Msfvenom to create a hidden bind TCP payload. The hidden bind TCP payload silently hides in the background and does not reveal itself if scanned by any port scanner when executed. The hidden bind TCP payload listens for a connection from a certain IP address and spawns a command shell. The shellcode will reply with an RST packet if the connection is not coming from the IP defined in a host. This way the port will appear as closed, helping us to hide the shellcode. For this lab demonstration, I will be using one virtual install of Kali Linux, one virtual install of Metasploitable 3, and both my VirtualBox adapters have been set to host-only networking. The first thing we'll need to do is to identify the IP addresses that are currently assigned to our target machine and to our Kali machine. To do this, let's go ahead and start by going on over to our target machine. Let's go to the Start button, and from the Start menu, let's select Command Prompt. At the command prompt, type in ipconfig, hit Enter, and you're going to be looking for the IP address that is currently assigned to your local area connection. The IP address assigned to my local area connection is 192.168.56.103. This is my IP address for my target. Your IP address will differ. Let's go on back on over to our Kali machine. Now let's bring up a terminal. At the terminal, let's type in ifconfig and hit Enter. And we're going to be looking for the IP address that is assigned to our Ethernet 0 adapter. The IP address that is assigned to my Ethernet 0 adapter is 192.168.56.101. This is the IP address assigned to my Kali machine. Your IP address will differ. Once you have identified the IP address for your Kali and for your target machine, you can do a check for connectivity by typing in ping followed by the IP address of your target. So at the prompt, I typed in ping, give it a space, 192.168.56.103. This is the IP address of my target. Your IP address will differ. Go ahead and hit Enter. And notice that we have a number of positive responses coming back from the target machine. To break out of this sequence, just type in Control-C, and now you can close out your terminal. To begin this lab, we're going to need a working folder on our Kali desktop. So anywhere on your Kali desktop, right-click, and from the context menu, select Create Folder. Give your folder a user-friendly name. I've called mine Shellcodes, but you are free to name your folder as you see fit. Once you've given your folder a user-friendly name, go ahead and click on Create. We are now ready to begin the lab. To start this lab, let's right-click on our working folder, and from the context menu, let's select Open Terminal here. We're now going to use Msfvenom to create this hidden bind TCP payload. So at the prompt, I've typed in Msfvenom, give it a space, -P, which stands for payload, give it a space, type in the payload we're going to be using, and that's going to be Windows/shell_hidden_bind_TCP, give it a space, a host equals, this is going to be the IP address of my Kali machine, 192.168.56.101. Give it a space. We next need to type in the port that the machine will be listening on to create the reverse shell connection. To do this, I've typed in L port equals 4444. Give it a space, -F, which stands for file type. Give it a space. The file type is going to be exe. Give it a space. Now use the greater than sign. That's going to tell the terminal where we want to save this payload once it is created. We're going to save it to root, desktop, the shellcodes folder, and we're going to call it /hidden.exe. Once you have everything typed in correctly, go ahead and hit Enter. It takes a couple of seconds for Msfvenom to generate the payload, so do be patient. Now once the payload is generated, you can go ahead and close out your prompt and go up inside of your working folder, and you're going to see that you have a hidden.exe file. That is your payload. Go ahead and close out your working folder. Again, we're going to right click on our working folder, and from the context menu we're going to select Open Terminal here. To deliver the payload, we're going to create a working web server inside of the working folder using Python 3. To do this, at the prompt, I've typed in Python 3, give it a space, -m for module, give it a space. The name of the module is http.server. Once you have all that typed in correctly, go ahead and hit enter. Now you have to leave this terminal open. Do not close it. You can minimize it, but do not close. The next thing we have to do is open up another terminal, and we have to create a netcat listener. So at the prompt, I've typed in NC, give it a space, the IP address of my target, which is 192.168.56.103, give it a space, and I have to tell it the port that the target is going to be listening on, which is 4444. Do not hit enter. We are not ready to hit enter yet until we launch the payload on the target. So let's go on over to our target, and let's go to Start, and let's go to Internet Explorer. And up in the address bar, you're going to type in the following: http://192.168.56.101:8000. Now this is the IP address of my web server up inside of that working folder, and it is listing on port 8000. That is the default. Go ahead and hit enter, and immediately we get a listing of what is inside of that working folder. Now we have the hidden.exe, and to launch it, we're just going to go ahead and double click it, and we're going to click run, and we'll click run one more time, and now we'll go back on over to our Kali machine, and we'll hit enter. We're immediately presented with the command prompt, or the command shell, that is currently running on our target machine. And if I type in dir at the shell prompt, you can see exactly what I have available to me on the desktop as administrator. I'm Professor K. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.